Alright, I'm just gonna jump right into it. I don't really have a script, but I'm gonna be reviewing Cyberpunk 2077. So, this game it's pretty good. I really liked starting it. Well, I didn't really like starting it per se. The prologue was kind of a little boring, but it wasn't as bad as some people were saying it was gonna be. So, the open world is super fun in most of the time. Um, Overall, I'd say it's probably a 3 to 4 out of 5 star game, or maybe a 7 out of 10 star game. Simply because it currently it feels like a next gen game that's kind of trapped inside of the old gameplay loops of old gen games. So it's reasonably fun when you're actually doing shit. But the story itself, I wasn't able to pay too much attention to because it was kind of a little boring, and overall, just it forced you to do shit that wasn't fun. The combat system is really fun. At least I had fun with it. I was during my live stream on my channel. I'll probably be doing more of those soon, but during my last live streams on my channel, I was playing as a brawler. So that's the unarmed one. And overall, it's really fun, but difficult. I chose hard mode, so I was looking for difficulty, but only because that looked like what was recommended. But basically, it just there was a certain part. It was like a detective thing where you had to like use like video playback to find clues and shit, and that was just painful to go through. Like there was no hand holding or anything like that. They just expect you to go all in and look. And when I finally found a solution, the fucking thing was right in the corner, hidden during only like a single part. So it was basically impossible to find. I just got lucky. So when that type of stuff happens, it doesn't really feel like rewarding. It just feels like you stumbled across something. So I really don't like those gameplay segments. Hopefully there's some fixes for that, maybe some hints or some shit at it in the patches to come in the future. But other than that, speaking back on gameplay, it's really fun. Your starting option doesn't seem to have too much of an impact as far as like permanent like combat and all that shit, but you do get specific dialogue options for at least for the corpo. I started as a corpo, so that was pretty fun. I don't have a script here or anything. I'm just going off my first impressions. One of my favorite things are some of the bugs because they're just amusing to look at. They're probably gonna fix those so they can appear to look like a next gen game that they're going for. But I saw people like walking off of bridges and just floating through buildings because they were jogging. And also one of my favorite bugs is the fact that you can just jump on top of cars and use them to get places. And also the fact that punching cars until they explode is not a crime. That's really fun to me. Yeah, I do like the combat, but there is some annoying things in combat as well. Enemies can hype your they can hack your cybernetics, and which is really annoying because if you're playing like a street brawler type build, sorry, if you're playing a street brawler type build, then you have to go find the person hacking you and like attack them or beat them or shit. But a street brawler, at least starting up, you have to be really good at taking people down one at a time and then fleeing really quickly. So and usually it results in like you just setting on fire because they overheat you or some shit, or to reveal your location, ruining your chances of picking off people. And I didn't really go into depth with the sneaking or the hacking too much. I used it as a default because you don't have to you don't have to really stick your feet through the door in order to experiment with hacking. That's just a default thing that you can have a little bit of leverage with, and you can make it more powerful with perks and shit, but I didn't go through that route. I just decided, my goal was to make a glass cannon character that could punch like a train, but not be able to take bullets at all. But it's a pretty fun game. Like I said, it has a sort of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of dynamic with old gen and new gen. Basically, a lot of it feels really good. Especially, I was able to play it in ultra ray tracing and like DLSS, I think it's called. Basically, like AI upscaling of the resolution. But that might not reflect well here because I was streaming it to YouTube, so the background footage you see is not the quality I was looking at. It looked a lot better for me, but it still didn't look like as amazing as I was expecting. I have all the settings maxed out, so currently it's not the most amazing, wonderful game ever. It doesn't always look like the cinematics that came out, which makes sense. You know, if those are ever in game, then they're usually a step or a degree higher than you could ever achieve. But playing on a 3060 Ti, it was really able to max out everything at 1080p, so I was really happy about that. And even though I wasn't able to get the full experience because my monitor is a smart TV, so not the best, but I think you can see the quality better if you go check out the full stream. I'll probably try to link them in the description if the one ever finishes processing. But eventually I kind of got bored because I was super tired of playing the game. But I was just like wandering, trying to find somebody who could edit my cybernetics, but I kept trying to swim across like an ocean or some shit. Just trying to get there because there was no way around it. And for an open world, it is pretty extensive, but it does this kind of like, it is really kind of brutal with not letting you travel to certain parts for no reason. Just like you get a little robot in your head or whatever. I don't know if it's the Keanu himself, but basically it's like you don't need to go there yet, and it just fucking teleports you and like digitalizes your screen, and you're just like turned around and you're running the other direction. So it's really just kind of weird way to limit you, especially if you're in water. It just teleports you back through the water, so it's really disorienting when you're just swimming the opposite direction. And eventually I couldn't really find a good way to get anywhere. I was just like thousands of meters from everything. So I just decided that I was too tired to keep playing. So there was no really go home button that I could find. Maybe I was just too tired to see it. But it is really fun when you're in the right areas. But it obviously knows that there's some areas that you don't want to be. But I think it actually lets you go too far. But it also is really like doesn't have tact for limiting how far you go. But world exploration aside, I guess it's mostly supposed to be the city, unless you choose the outsider start or however it is. But that's the gist of my review. It's a reasonably good game, especially my main game was Skyrim, and mostly because of the modding, and there does seem to be a modding scene building up behind Cyberpunk 2077. So I will be looking forward to that, and I will make subsequent reviews when either CD Projekt Red fixes the game more, or when modders decide to do it for them, or both. But I hope you enjoyed. That's about everything I have. So if you want to see more gameplay of Cyberpunk 2077 maxed out settings, then subscribe to my channel, and you can see when my live streams or when my uploads come out. I also do a lot of Skyrim and other games that I can mod. So I hope you check it out. yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. Bound by wild desire, I fell into a ring of fire.